I think he used the word persistent. What do you think about this? You know, making the right connections. And what are the right connections? Is it connections between me and you, between us and international artists, between labels? What connections are we talking about?
I'll say shout out to all my fans. I mean, hey, I hope I do. I try. I respond to your messages, and I'll keep doing it. But this is my home. So when I come home, don't think I'm the host, but because I enjoy home.
That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
So I need to say this is home.
Yeah. I think what he said is maturity, is growth. I mean, he's done it all. You always need to let the people you're moving with understand the status quo, where you're going. So you always need to stay focused, do the audits, understand where you are, know whether you're on track. If you're not on track, you need to reconscientize them and lay down the mission against the vision. You need to have one to get the one. You need to.
So what's the first step? I get what you're saying, but what's the first step? And the
first step is the mistake he's made. He's made all the mistakes with other artists.
Okay.
Now he's fine-tuned it. Now he's making all the losses he's made. He's now making the gains now. Now he understands that there's not a trial process anymore. It's not a trial now. Now the business model is working now.
So why haven't people who probably even started with Richie or who have been in the game as long or since, again, when Richie started, why do you think they haven't been able to be as successful? What can we learn that they didn't learn from someone like Richie?
Richie has passion. A lot of the people who came through wanted money.
Oh.
Yes. When you leave your passion, you grow and understand and appreciate the mistakes. So you can see your mistakes, and you can see where your growth is coming.
Okay.
And that satisfaction is that keeps you going. And once it's a passion, and you don't lose focus, and you understand the mission and the vision, the money will come without you realizing it.
Okay. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Now, again, a word that he used which came up a lot was the word connection.
Yeah.
When we talk about connection in this industry, like, for example, we're speaking about this off air. Me and you don't agree on everything. There's certain things we disagree on. But, for example, again, people like Mr. Logic and Arnold, you know, a little disagreement, and it boils over to social media because maybe they're not on the same page with the particular topic pertaining to what they were talking about. Is that the connection we're missing in the industry?
Sometimes, I'll refer to one. Sometimes, you see, our foolishness allow us to think, allow us to outlook the bigger picture.
Please explain.
I need to be humble to appreciate what you're saying, even though I don't make sense. I'm not on the same page with you. But when I appreciate you, I can communicate and tell you, okay, I understand what you're saying, but this is the point I'm making. So then it brings a cordial humility for you also to appreciate me. It's a connect. And that connect is powerful. If industry people can't connect, you can't go the exterior.
Is that what we're missing right now?
It's part of it. Richie understands how to make the plugins, the kind of songs you're doing. Richie kind of way he signs artists. He has an artist huge for the general market. That's Kwame Yuji.
Yeah.
He has Kiddy, that is for a specific market. He has a gospel artist that is for a specific market. You need to understand what you want to achieve, the growth, and then the dynamics. That you can't satisfy the whole market. You get me? You need to, and that is where the connect comes in. So, if he goes out to do a sale or to do a pitch or a projection to a company, he gives you 3 divergent products and tells you, this is what I have. He don't go and they say, oh, okay, because we want to hit a certain market. Then go that, oh, yes, but the same artist I have can appeal to that market too. No. He understands the dynamics of the market and he understands the needs of the people. And he gives them what they need. Look at Kwame Eugene. Look at Kiddy. Look at now Adina on the board. With even Ajeti Anan. So the growth has come. He knows their capacity. He knows his strengths. He believes in the thing he's working with. And is about a family.
Okay.
Sense of ownership, sense of belonging.
And that's what you think a lot of people are missing.
Yes.
Even us, in people in the industry, so to speak.
We pretend.
Like, when I say in the industry, I mean bloggers.
We pretend to like each other, but
that's what I want us to talk about a bit.
We pretend to like each other. Because if I appreciate your growth, I tag along growth.
Okay.
If I push you better, okay, I push you to a place that there is more space for me also to be entertained. Okay. But I hold you back. I forbid myself.
Okay, so right now we've had Mr. Adam join us in the studio. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie, an entertainment mind again, an analyst. You know, he broke down Black Sharif's contract for us, and people were very appreciative of it. How have you been?
Thank you.
Nice one.
I've been good. Just that, I mean, a lot of stress during the Easter festival.
Okay, you've been busy.
I had to.
They're making money. That's what it means. These guys are making money.
Accra and Insulting.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Tick has opened a rest stop on the Accra Community
Oh, that's
Highway.
cool.
So, like from Friday, he had Kofi Nti there. Saturday, he had AK Songstress. And on Sunday, he clashed with the still there. So, it was amazing.
That's good to see a legend, you know, working. But let's get straight to it. We're talking about the fact that Richie, not too long ago, he alluded to the fact that the industry needs more connections. And I really want to direct the conversation at that word, connection. So I was asking Coca here, and he's just said, I mean, you heard what he just said. He said that there's a lot of pretense, you know, people pretend. And is that the problem right now? Because we're trying to connect to international artists. If we haven't connected to ourselves here, what's the way forward? And do you agree with what Coca is saying, that there's a lot of pretending and we're not as connected as we should be?
Oh, to a point. I mean, what Richie said does not, I mean, point out to say that there is no connection. Yeah. But I'm sure if you ask him to break down, he want to say, like Oliver Twist, we can do more. Because where he has been able to, I mean, get himself to, the artist is handled over the years. Yeah. I mean, without connection, they wouldn't have done what they have done. I mean, just recently, they were able to put together a show at the O2 Arena in UK. If you look at those who put the show together, it was with about 2 partners in addition to them. And even at links, there are other people who are, I mean, behind the scene, I mean, pushing some support in. So that is connection to a certain extent. Yeah, I'm
sure that was what he was talking about, but I'm just like bringing it down.
So like, there is the connections are there, but it's like, we can do better. You understand? So, I mean, that is where we need to build on whatever we are doing and get there. And like Kuka was saying, they themselves, at times, when they're able to bid to somewhere, instead of opening up, I mean, some of the keys, excuse me, to how they were able to open certain doors to their colleagues, they don't. They close it, and they enjoy it only by themselves.
And this is something that's happening.
It happens. It gets to a point that, look at, there was a lady at BET. It was when she died that some of the artists open up. I mean, she is of Ghanaian descent. People started coming out. Oh, this he has done this for us. I mean, but in the past, I mean,
you're talking of D Black's, the woman. She's related to D Black, and it's D Black who made that link possible for a lot of Ghanaians here.
You see, so I mean, they need to open up to themselves. I mean, how they were able to, attain certain heights. And through that, I mean, when you say connection, you get to know somebody one day. So some of them have the keys. The industry needs to come together. There are some people who are not singing, but they play a certain role in the industry who know certain people. So as an industry, if we want to get to the top, if we want to conquer in our space, we should be able to, open up to each other and hold our hands. You know?
Is that actually going to happen? Because we've said this thing. My own is like, we've been discussing this thing.
I'll use myself.
You see, at times, the more, it doesn't, if you are discussing it and it's not happening, it doesn't mean you need to stop. At times, you need to remind people. You need to shape their thinking. Yeah. It's like,
I disagree.
You need to shape
I agree. I disagree. I agree. Now tell us why I'm wasting my resources on you, and you're not giving me the attention,
Yeah.
I'd rather now pull back and create a niche.
Is the answer everyone going into their own
So
space?
I'll create a niche and get those who understand the vision, because time will not wait for us. That connect will not forever be there. So create those who understand. Let's build a connect so that by the time maturity will get to you, for you to feel you are now home, we have the connect. Because if you say we are going to waste till we get everybody on board, we will never get there.
Of course.
Let me give you an example. You see, this Asaka thing came.
Yeah.
If we all held it strong and give them a proper branding and push them under the hip life and say, yes, it's Asaka, but it's another brand of hip life.
Yeah.
And maintain and giving them hope and even giving them shows, because they were becoming more like, you see them as a group, they were individuals.
Yeah.
What we needed to build a certain momentum for them, but we kept tearing them
So
apart.
who is the we?
Even they themselves, they themselves play the role. I mean, look at what happened during that year. They had some nomination at VGMA. I mean, there's a point we discussed on the radio.
today,
when they wrote a letter, the Asaka people, it was signed by, Portfolio,
Okay.
that they know awards team should nominate them. They are not for this
Okay, we
award.
spoke about this not too long ago, and you actually agreed with this, that, artists don't put themselves out there.
Yes,
they
and I
took
that's-
themselves
so you get
out
me.
of the industry.
But again, remember I told
how
you that
does the
it takes
industry
maturity.
push you when you are?
Yes, we benefit them.
I'm
a pundit.
Don't add my content.
I am
to
a
your
pundit
show.
because
don't
of-
show my
because of
content
the
on
creative
show.
people.
You can't.
So whose fault is it?
It is
So,
our
I mean, and just recently,
gatekeepers, pundits, the creative
just recently,
And that's what we're talking about here.
just recently, Asaka Boys had a Twitter space session with some of the Archipelago and certain other guys.
I saw that.
And
How do you call Archipelago a link?
No, he's a. I mean,
Hey,
you've seen
come
how
on,
he
Coca.
support when they go to US for a show. How he took them out to
where?
I mean, they
Okay, but
they
you're
weren't
a
even
link.
admitted.
Archipelago might be a link.
They admitted.
Archipelago will give you a link where?
That's a connect.
How
He will kill your career.
How are you okay? What are you talking about?
The name Archipelago and the Palago crowd does not even rhyme for you
Wait,
to get
wait, wait,
and that-
Archie what?
that
What are you
Twitter,
talking about, Coca?
that Twitter space discussion,
Yeah.
which was meant for, I mean, building up the group and
Yeah.
making sure, I mean, they stand
It
the
turns
test
to
of
something
It
else.
became bloody. I mean, the kind of words, unprintable words they were using. It's like they themselves, they are not ready for the push.
One
And
of the biggest harm in our game is when I want to manage you, I want to associate with you, and you decline me. I tend to trade you as a traitor, or I tend to make you feel
That's what's like adding emotions to the business.
that is the key component that destroys us. Before we grow somebody, we want to be part of the growth. But you see, when you grow the ecosystem, you get to benefit.
So that's what Archipelago was doing in his support.
Archie what's Palago?
He was posting and supporting them before they came out.
What does he do?
He's an artist, per what we've heard on
And a
seen on social
American
media.
who is
and he has
living
followers. He
outside.
has a following.
I mean, he can
Like,
even,
you're a
His
link.
comic or the song?
in terms, he has followers.
Well,
I mean,
I won't play his song by radio because he will kill, it will destroy my
Coca,
tickets.
if we sit here and we talk about
I mean, music
connecting-
is about followers.
Wait,
he has
Adam,
followers. He
Adam,
can
if we
post
sit
them.
here and we talk about
Post their
connecting
songs
as an
for-
industry, and you're not appreciating someone
Yeah,
who
you
can
see,
possibly.
yes.
I am.
How are we
you
going to
see,
get to that place
I
that
will
we're
not
talking
go
about?
off set to tell you the truth.
But to a
Let me
certain extent,
let me
he can
give
connect them
you something.
to
So
an
right now,
extent.
if you're an artist and in your times,
Yeah.
you have disrespected the brand links. In your times, when Kidi or Kwame UG or those things needed a feature, and you turn them down, now they are plug. You just look at Kidi with his features and other things, and the kind of people he's liaising with. He is a huge plug. So if you don't have a connect, just a feature on his show or on his song, or for him to even give you credit to say that, oh, when I did this song, this artwork, Adam was the one who gave me this artwork. It's a plus for you.
It is.
Those are the connects you're looking at. That don't create bad blood. No matter what it is, look at the bigger ecosystem we are trying to build together.
So what if one day your artist needs Archipelago on his show? What if that happens?
To do his song.
You see, we're talking about not creating bad blood, but to some extent...
Archipelago is a comedian, not a musician.
But he's got music out there.
Maybe he needs his
We
followers.
have TikTokers who make music. Okay,
Yeah.
this is what I want you to understand.
Very soon,
look at Jehovah's.
Very soon, a lot of garbage will come in the system.
Look at Jehovah's song. I mean, when people are partying, it's not about, I mean, the sense in the song. It's about the groove, the vibe. Look at Jehovah.
You see,
That is
why I said some time ago
song
that awards, we should be careful of using awards as a yardstick for good work.
Of course.
You get me?
Yeah, I think I agree to that.
If you tell me,
and even if you look at the
when you
pattern
tell
of
me
votes,
that Ati Palago
public.
is an entertainer, he's the biggest entertainer
No,
in our space.
we are even talking about connect.
I'm coming in our space. But in terms of music, I don't even know which kind of keys to give him.
So
when
we say connect,
VW key.
when we say connect, is it up to the artist to pick and choose who they connect to?
No. The connect one has to be you and your people. Typical example is Black Sherry today.
Yeah.
If whoever advised him, that lawyer who advised him, is the most useless thing that has ever happened to the boy. That he should send that letter to the one who produced him the initial stage.
No, what letter are you talking about?
The letter that the legal person who wrote the letter that the boy wanted to part with.
Oh.
That person does not even understand our business. You see, you can be a lawyer, but if you don't understand creatives, the intellectual property aspect of what we do, you'll be messed up. Somebody financed your creativity. Somebody made you, help you become who you are. So you can go and say, I have done this, I have done this. How can we proceed? How can we come together to mitigate to get a better way? Because I want to do this.
Yeah.
When two people are in contract, if I'm in agreement with him, and I come and I say I want to part ways, if I say no, there is no way the parting ways will happen.
So it's because we don't have the right connections. That's why we're making some mistakes.
Yes. It's education.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
if I'm going to sign a contract and I have spoken well to Adam, and I should see him as a colleague who will help me grow, and he should also need to appreciate the fact that if he helps me in a positive connect, the benefits he will enjoy. Charlie, this is a contract. This is what I'm getting.
Okay.
No, this contract, if you sign, this is what he needs. You are selling this, your legal rights, you are selling this, you are selling that, you are selling that. So please, get a lawyer. But when I'm saying a lawyer, get somebody who understands intellectual property to break it down for you.
Okay.
Then when you go and you sit down with the person tells you, it takes two to tango. If you want to work out, you need to please him with a better offer for him to go off. Yeah. So that is the kind of connect I'm talking about.
I'm getting what you're saying. And once again, I mean, when Richie spoke about connect, I'm sure he was speaking on, plugins and getting your music out there. But for this conversation, I really wanted us to take that word connect and, link it to the industry. So it's good to have these conversations. And this has led to our next story, which says Chief Executive Officer, that's the CEO, for the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP, Kofi Owusu-Kansah, has noted that the Ghana music industry needs more investment. Now, looking at this, I mean, it can lead down to connections and stuff. Again, not too long ago, I was listening to Mr. Logic on radio, and he was adamant on the fact that, let's be honest with ourselves, we need money in the industry. We need that money to push the creatives, to push the punditry, to push the fashion, the culture in general. Now, guys, when we talk about investment, and Adam, I want you to kick this off, where is that investment going to come off? Because we say we need rich men. Let me bring it to a layman's term. Rich men to invest. Is that the way out? What do we mean by investment? What do you think, Mr. Kofi means by investment?
I mean, investment clearly is about people putting their money, financing certain projects. I mean, music, regardless of everything, is also a business. When you are able to get the necessary money, because it has so many parts. It has the recording aspect. After the recording, there is the distribution. Even just now, after recording the audio, there should be the video, which comes with a lot of cost. It comes to promotion. I mean, when promotion comes in, building your own brand comes with so many things that the artists need costume, mode of transportation, accommodation. I mean, your looks. All of these things comes at a certain cost that at times when you don't have the needed investment, and at times they talk about even pushing your works outside, it's all about money.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that level of investment, I mean, you will get to a certain point that you'll not be able to push harder. Like Sarkodie, they've all alluded to the fact that Stoneboy, Shatawale, that when it gets to a certain point, you need some investment, because whatever the artist, whatever money you get from your crafts or what you are doing, when you are to invest the same money back into what you are doing, at times it's difficult because you don't know where and when the money is going to come. So
it's scary.
You lose like, hey, Charlie, I need to make, take care of home. I need to take care of certain things. My career too is there. So when I push all the money into one project, what about the next project? So there is all skepticism when you want to. So when you get somebody to pre-finance, so that going forward you will also be able to maybe recoup, because at times the money from the streams, from the shows, and you take some time to gather them. So somebody pre-finances for you to be able to pay the person go, like the way record labels do for artists.
Yeah.
They give you an advance, then going forward they recoup their investment. These are the kind of investment he's talking about, and we need. It's an open secret that without the needed financial support, it will be difficult for art to thrive to that point. That it is why we have gotten to where we are with Black Sheriff. They got to a certain point, they realized that they need a certain push in terms of investment to be able to match up the hype, or to be able to take his craft to a top notch. And you saw the kind of investment the person made in terms of accommodation.
And it seems like it didn't even work
vehicles,
out.
transportation, and the kind of studio they set up at home. All of these things is what investment comes to fix. So, artists, we need it. And it's all also, the reason we are not getting most of them is at times from past experience. We've had some former executive producers who've come out to say, music, especially those from the gospel side, I would never invest in music again.
I'm very happy you're coming to this.
But some of them too came to steal. Some of them, they came to exploit.
I'm very happy, and I don't want to catch you.
Some of them came to exploit because, one, the artists were not that educated then. They didn't understand their contract.
Cool.
So
I get you.
Those Matra and Makwe,
okay, I get you.
executive producers, most of them came to steal.
If you, let's say, you had $500 million, amen to that, because I'm sure you put $10 million in my account.
Oh, yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
invest in this music industry? And I'm asking you this.
Yes.
Wait, I'm asking you this because you said, first of all, like Richie, it has to be from a place of passion.
Yeah.
No problem. But we see stuff come up, and we can't actually sit here and say people are not investing in artists. Maybe not as much as we'd like.
People do.
People actually do invest in artists. But again, we're always talking about investing. So where are we going wrong with this investment?
Adam has given you the industry investments. Let me walk you through what we need to do. One, government needs to tighten up our royalty payment collection system. TV stations, radio stations, we need to move that royalty to content trust. That every gadget, anybody who plays song, anybody who uses any form of content, you should pay for it. The telecos, every content that is they use. So then, you have a content fund where artists can apply for their jobs, and then when you do, because it will be enjoyed, you can recoup it. We need a music authority. That music authority will push music marketing and ensure that structures and things are well played, contract and other things are well laid. Now, one of the things I'm so disappointed in Ghana Tourism Authority is our festivals. If the number of festivals we have are well structured, right, and artists are put on it to perform as a calendar, and we control content and the kind of music we do, one, we will maintain our music. We will stop going to import because we want to go to a certain market. And then you're making money because every month you have shows to play.
But isn't that what we've started, like Wilderland, Afro Nation?
These are individuals. I'm talking that the Ghana Tourism Authority and Ghana Tourism Development, they need to come together and then deal with traditional authorities, build the festivals into big brands, go to corporate companies and sell to them. Let them see that if Guinness gives you, let's say, 100 million, they should be able to sell around 300 million.
Okay.
That is the kind of investment.
Like logistics need to be put in place.
The final aspect is, gone are the days where you release an EP and sit down for streams. Stream is like 1 cedi 50 pesos. How many times would you stream before you get $1? You get me? So we need to start going back to albums and EPs and do shows. So when you release, you go on tour. You can use the 5 stadiums in the country. And our songs should be structured.
Yeah.
You should, okay. Volta region, Edem is strong. Jason is strong in Greater Accra. So these songs, this song I want to go to Volta region with. Edem will be my lead. And Edem's song is what I'm going to promote intensively in the Volta region.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason is strong in Greater Accra. So I'm using his song to promote here. So pick people and feature people so that your performance will become content. And then bring artistic people who will put a showmanship, give you a theoretical showmanship that you go on stage, lights are blinking, people are dancing, they are scaffolds, not just a tabletop and you come and say, mintio.
I get what you're saying, no, but if there's, let's say there's a rich man who's watching this and he sees the thing Coca has listed.
If you don't go to a rich man, don't go to a rich man. Let the rich man know. Let the rich man know that when I invest in this, a stadia, and let's say the minimal a stadia is taking is what? 100 cedis. Accra Sports Stadium is 46,000, right? And then you are going to create the center field as where you sell your tables, where you do your 20,000 tables and other things. And you plan it well. Boss, the outskirts of the stadium is where you have your exhibitions. You now your artists, the clothing you use for shows, the videos and things, you have an exhibition. People who wants to sell have bought stands and they are selling them.
So what you're saying is the structure.
That is what we need. So when you have this and it's under the music authority and it's being managed, then when you send a proposal that you're going to do a show, they can pre-finance for you. You don't need a big man. But the big man now will say that I want to invest in this show. And looking at your worth, I think I checked and your worth is $1 million. So I want to put $2 million in this. But if you don't have a worth, and the person comes and give you 3 cedi, and twice he invested in you, and then you are crying that he gave you 4 cedis.
I think where you started from, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm mistaken, was you said from the bodies, right? The bodies at the top.
No, it starts from government.
After government, we go to like Musica and Gamro, right? They should be involved.
They will come. Once the royalty systems are empowered, and then they are sanctions to TV stations, radio stations, even me and you, that we listen to songs on our phones and everything, we should pay royalties. Those sanctions and things will get the artist money.
Because the reason why I brought Musica and Gamro in is, Adam, yesterday we had
Musica is a welfare society. Gamro, Musica.
Because, there's a
Musica,
thing...
they form it because your mother is sick, your father is sick, you grow on very soon, you are coming to die. Then they will do some collection and give it to you.
If to some extent, Musica and Gamro...
Ghana Pandits Association, we need to form one because I'm growing old.
If to some extent, right, Musica and Gamro put money in the pockets of artists, that's what we've been saying, right? They put money into the pocket of artists. Isn't it? Shouldn't they be part of this conversation?
They should be part, but everybody has
about money.
That's what I'm saying. That so if an artist is well engaged and he grows well, he will pay his dues and things so that his welfare, when he's not active, can work. You get me? Gamro then will become more active and will be able to account because government has tightened and then has brought policies that is enforcing people to do more. So then their works will be easier and well cut out in their collection.
Adam, now what Coca said is very, it makes sense, honestly. and it seems like it's a structure. But to I don't usually like say underground artists. I don't know what up and coming is. But to that artist who is not mainstream yet, this is very scary to hear.
No, but that is why you have to go
to. He was saying that.
Because we're talking about investment.
We need to, get an music authority.
Yeah.
I think we need. There is a shortcut. We've already passed the Creative Arts Bill, where some of these things can be factored in. If you look at the Creative Arts,
please quickly run us through.
Creative Arts Industry Bill, Creative Arts Industry Act. Say an act established a creative arts agency to provide the institutional framework for the development, management of the creative arts industry, and for related matters. So
big English
I say to provide institutional framework for the development and management of creative art industry, which means that if the creative art agency is properly put in place, whatever Coca is talking here will be addressed. I'm coming.
The creative arts has
who is in charge of this creative arts industry?
It has a theater.
I'm coming.
It has the carpentry. It has all these elements. Relax. But you made emphasis on music. So I came emphatically on music. That you need a music authority that will handle purely the music.
Coca. Relax. You see, if you look at the act has been passed. But the problem is now they are putting in place an LI, which is a legislative instrument.
My son would have been 40 years.
To operationalize, and that is where industry stakeholders we need to push. Because, look at before 2020 election, that is when the Creative Art Agency Bill was passed. And
before 2020 election?
Yes.
And we are
haven't seen progress so far.
That is where
you saw that he was reading the thing on his phone.
I've spoken to people who are part of those who are drafting the LI, which is the legislative instrument to operationalize it. And if you listen to the kind of work they are doing, it's cool because when the thing is passed, it will get to a point that artists who come to Ghana to perform will have to get work permits, among other things. You can't just come into the country and infiltrate.
But what he's saying, this structure,
we always say that our industry, we've always opened our industry to foreigners.
The E-levy, everything is ready.
Where are you going?
E-levy is not ready.
So that is where
starting when.
That's something else.
It is important to them.
And look, the agency is going to have, subsidiaries or offices across the various districts. And in the agency, there are a lot of groups which form the agency.
We have the music, we have the movie.
I understand what he's saying, but do you know under the creative arts, once I'm able to form a group and I have the numbers,
as an individual,
if today I say Ghana Music Lovers Association.
That is why you need an agency or an authority to be able to calm down.
The definition in the creative arts, there is no limit to who becomes
part of that creative arts.
So then it means I'm in a group. Once I feel I'm being marginalized, all I need to go out and form a group and get the numbers. And then what?
And come and dump it in.
Yes. So I'm saying that. What I'm saying is, yes, we have the creative arts. That portion has to be worked on. And then the Creative Arts Council, what he said is perfect. But you need individual institutions, like the Music Institute, you need a creative, so that these institutes will lead
if you look at the bill,
if you allow groups,
if you go through the bill, you will
it's
see,
like going to church and say people have come,
you will see that it has factored all of these groupings in the industry, because when you want to, talk about institutional framework, you need all of these people to come out with some of the things from their perspective before it will inform government decision on, coming out with policies for them. So all of these things have been addressed. But one thing is that because there is some low level of education in some of these things, look at those in the creative art space, like even the actors themselves, from the musicians to actors, they are not even pushing for processes to be hurried in terms of, getting an
airline. And when we come to the ground, like to the bare surface, and people are watching this, and they hear that the creative arts industry it hasn't been
Principal agency, Bill.
Bill has.
But who is the president or who is the?
You see, now there's even a problem with that. As to, I mean, in terms of the legitimacy.
Like these are legitimate.
And the president's daughter, who is now at the helm of affairs.
Oh, she's acting.
I mean,
how many people know?
But Adam, yeah, per what he's saying, you also just stated something which is interesting. I mean, you're saying that even the actors are not even pushing.
Yes.
Is it our job to push for these things to get? Isn't it supposed to be created to monitor us?
But I mean, we most of the time hear musicians, actors speak on national issues, social issues.
Okay.
I mean, they have the
so they have a duty to.
I mean, so if you can talk about certain people's matter, it's like journalism, where journalists can fight for every association to get improved salary, improved condition of service, but the journalists themselves cannot speak for themselves.
But if you get better salary, who writes for them?
When it comes to improvement of salaries and other things, you know, so these people, if you can speak for, I mean, certain facets of society for their problems to address, you yourself, you can speak for yourself.
So, okay, let me give you an example.
have a huge following.
I became a pundit because I was selling theatre. And it was difficult selling theatre. So I became a pundit. And I was consistently talking about music, talking about fashion, talking about acting, and talking about the space and the venue. And these are the lead components that made theatre what it is. Yeah. That's how I started. And I got into music, to appreciating and everything. At a point, artists were coming for us for royalties. And we said, we do what we need to do with Gamro, so go to Gamro.
Wow.
You get me? If you don't...
Which I brought up, and you said that...
That's what I'm saying that... No, I didn't. I said once the structures are well done, it makes their work easy for the collection.
So it doesn't start from them?
No. Government needs to ensure that there are punitive measures for those who fail to pay. So when those structures are there, then the accountability to the artist is easier. Because instead of focusing on collection, they are focusing on going to courts. So instead of going to the market to collect, they are targeting the big ones to get. And sometimes you need to understand them. They need to have the 2080 rule to ensure that their members are okay. If we don't take it bit by bit and say music, this is how we want to go, we need to start doing shows. Yeah. Me, I'm against the release of singles now. Singles, no, they pay. Singles, the investment you put in singles, if you put that same investment in an EP and run your concerts. Is
it an EP riskier for an artist? Again, if we're discussing investments and you don't have investments, because an EP, you work with more producers, work with more artists.
So the interest in terms of investment, it is the same.
I'm defending the artists and saying that's why everyone is releasing singles.
It is the same. How many songs are you going to release? You're releasing one song, you're putting all your energy in. How do you recoup your money? That I called you a show, and then you tell me 30,000. Then I tell you that one song. Now, instead of getting an artist to come and give me a show performance, you know, I'll invite the artist to the party and bring a DJ, and then tell him, Charlie, can you do 5 minutes for me? You get me? We always circumvent the thing. He manages a pub. He will tell you what how even expensive to get your live band working.
It seems like this investment thing.
That's what like
there's so many angles.
Yeah, so if you don't make the one coming, see the components of what you're doing to understand that, oh, I want to invest in Adam. Adam is a high life artist. It means he performs live. Yeah. He needs his recordings, live recording sessions. He needs his bands and other things. He's not a miming artist. You get me? You need to understand that because of that, he needs these number of people to work with. He needs this space to rehearse. If those things, you don't experiment on a show for the people to see what I'm going to invest in, and they come and now you say with him, then the issues, the trust start coming.
Okay, so to
wrap up, yeah.
I think that at times we need to, put the feet of certain agencies to the fire so that they can act, so that all the burdens that all go
like the creative arts.
Like even Gamo themselves. I've always said that the problem Gamo finds itself, partly the organization needs to be blamed for that, because there was a problem with how they collect their revenue, and there was a problem with how they distribute. I mean, you have Ghana Revenue GRA, which is, I mean, authorized by the state to do revenue collection. Why can't you team up with them across the country to, I mean, collect some of your revenues for you and give them money? Rather, you go for individuals who do not understand revenue collection, and you give them a certain quota for them to go and collect the money. And they come with a lot of stories. And now look at
the reason I'm saying
when they changed their distribution model. I mean, over the years they've been using what we call the allocation system to distribute, where if they have registered 30,000 members, all the 30,000 members are entitled to royalties regardless. And also those who have more albums are given a certain chunk. If you do that, you create problem. Now they have moved from the allocation system, and they have divided a certain part of the money to a certain rule, 60-40. That is why there was an improvement. So the 60%, the 40% of the monies they have goes into paying people based on their work in terms of rotation, which is done throughout the world when it comes to royalties. It's about who is being rotated. Then 60% of the money goes into that allocation. It goes into that second type of, I mean, distribution they do. So this thing should have been done earlier. So the institution themselves, at times, they have solutions.
I'm hearing this, and I always say, put yourself in the shoes of the artist who's watching this, who is thinking about getting to the industry.
But you see, I told you the last time that if you're an artist and you don't have a business manager who understands the nitty-gritty of what you're doing, but you have an errands friend or whatever, then you
which a lot of artists do. It's not their fault,
if you have a business manager, by now, they should have artist managers, the business units, who can sit down with Gamro and look at alternatives of making money. You get me? Because the artist should focus on his creativity and his crafts, but your business team should be managing your funds and how your revenues come in for you.
Okay, insightful stuff. We have a couple more stories which we're going to discuss. Not too much time, so quick commercial break. I'm not letting these two gentlemen go just right now because the knowledge, you know, they're spreading and the stuff we're talking about, again, very, very insightful. So we're going to be right back.
If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 Studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV shows, and more. From state-of-the-art equipment to a very skilled production team, we've got you covered. Step into our modern and spacious studio with a changeable lighting system and foolproof sound. Our touchscreen studio projection monitors come with other features, including Wi-Fi connection, screen mirroring, and a remote workspace mode. Take advantage of our high-quality cameras to shoot in 4K and a variety of the best lighting equipment guaranteed to put life into your sets. Locate us on the first floor of the Silicon House building off the Boundary Road, East Legon. Give us a call on 024-235-5956 or 054-454-8612. You can also email us at info@mx24gh.com.
Welcome back to the show, and I know you missed us a couple of seconds we left you, but anyways, carrying on. We've spoken about investment, about Richie talking about connections, and I love to have these conversations. And something that came up, which I'm always very happy to talk about, is artists doing well. And Black Sharif, he's leading, let me say, the Apple Music rap playlist. It's a very big thing to just even have his picture, and I'm going to reference this to, I had GH Hyper here yesterday, and we're speaking about the fact that Rick Ross, you know, he gave shout outs to a couple of artists, and he honestly told me he wasn't impressed because Rick Ross is not as out there as much. He's a legend in the game, and you know, a couple of people were saying that it looks like he was reading the names out, but there's the other coin that also saying that we always sit on these platforms and we say we want these opportunities, we want these connections, and these things are happening, but it seems like people and fans are not impressed. So looking at these two stories, again, Black Sharif leading,
let me be honest
Apple
with you, anybody who will tell
music
you
and stuff
that these artists, that's why they have managers. is the manager's decision.
So are you
Adam has
impressed? Are you impressed?
Yes, Adam as a manager. If Adam tells me is managing me and I'm on a show and Adam sends me a list that you need to acknowledge these people, because I've acknowledged him as my business manager, I know what he is trying to do for me. So sometimes I don't need to know the person. When I do it and I come back,
it's a huge endorsement.
yes, then he
It's
goes
a business,
like,
right?
he goes like, whoa, this, and I can do this. Listen, ask yourself, the likes of Jay-Z and Snoop, what do you think is keeping them in the game? The likes of PDD, what do you think is 50 Cent is reinventing every year?
Yeah.
Reinventing every year. Why do you think PDD went to buy back the, what's the name?
Sean John.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's to
I mean, Sean John was out of the game for a long time.
Yes.
The fashion.
So then, when you remember Sean John, you remember P Diddy.
Yeah.
He's coming back again. Look at what Snoop is doing. Snoop bought what? Has bought one of these old
The record label.
Yes.
Death Row.
Yes.
Yeah, he's bringing it back.
Yes, because he's going to bring the new guys in. You get me? Look at what 50 Cent is doing with.
Yeah, with movies and television
Yes.
now.
Look at what Jay-Z is doing.
Yeah, he's doing everything.
A lot of people didn't know that Jay-Z was even producing Rihanna.
Yeah.
You get me?
And Jay-Z actually coordinated the NFL halftime show. You know, with Dr. Dre and all these
That
people.
is business, because that franchise was given to him and he sees huge money, royalties and everything. So if you don't understand these things and you don't look at this picture, and you are empty and you are home and you just dwell on social media, I mean, these comments I'll spare you.
Yeah. I mean, because again, these things are big deals. You know, even like to the extent that even if an artist tweets at you, it's seen as a business now.
I mean,
People frame it and put it in their room.
Look at the number of people who come across you, even at times for the first time and others. I mean, so for Hyper to say that, I mean...
But does he have a point, though, that more should be done? Does he have a point, though? Because...
it's like you're becoming self-entitled. I mean, Rick Ross has decided to shout you out.
To bloggers.
It's up to you.
They use the artist's music. Do they pay them what is due?
It's up to you to, I mean, take advantage of whatever he has done. It's up to the country. It's up to the management. It's up to his publicists to run with it, to get the necessary spotlight. That is what he can do for now. You can even go further to get his attention the more. I mean,
you can do a video and call him out.
What again should you can also do a video to appreciate him?
So you guys obviously disagree.
No. We are on the same page.
No. I'm saying you disagree with the fans that are saying that. That's a big deal.
If you don't understand the business,
if your team is smart, they can also do a video to appreciate that and do other things and attach your work to it and tag them. You understand? Okay. So it's not about he being out there.
You thought
it's about what you do with his endorsement.
The vice president used a song during his lecture. You thought it wasn't a big deal?
Yeah, it was.
Now, people who relate to him have also come to, what song is this? They will look for it. Every opportunity.
People want to see Black Sherif now. Right?
Every opportunity anybody gives you is the person selling to his market for you.
Yeah.
So, if I manage him, I'll let him call him out for a feature.
These are some of the things Burna Boy used to be doing.
Yeah.
Even Diddy. On Instagram Live and other, I mean, look at how he was going at them. I mean, at times you need to take that step. I mean, Rick has done his bit for them. It's up to the artists and their team to also take it up. I mean, it's a huge endorsement.
You saw when he was coming. You remember his early days when he came out. The features Rick Ross himself he did.
Loads of them with Lil Wayne and DJ Khaled. Anyways, I always say, you know, when these conversations come up, it's good to get different perspectives, you know, and angles. And I think what some people are saying that, maybe the African artists need to do more, but at least it's a step in the right direction to be acknowledged.
Because our system is not well structured. There is an honest truth I need to tell you.
Please tell me before we
Adam, as an artist, is scared that his goodwill can take him out of the light. It's an honest conversation. I can just give you an endorsement and push you, and push you, and I can lose that position I have. If our structures are well developed and everything, and I'm getting my royalties and things, those things are not something I should play with. It's a reason most of our people are even scared of certain features.
Yeah.
Because he feels he will be drowned.
But the sky is huge.
But it starts from the ground.
But it starts from the ground. But
if you don't have enough space to take off from the ground,
I agree. But
if you don't have enough space to take off, how do you get into the sky?
Yeah. What I am saying is, like, again, we look at other industries and what they're doing. I mean, we can always take something and learn from them. The video is pushing artists, but I understand what you're saying, that the structure, the foundation has to be set.
Nigeria has put a lot of money in their system. Nigeria has come to realize that music is key. Music is strong. Nigeria has come to realize that we want to change our narrative.
Yeah.
The 419 about Nigeria is now known to be a music and movie hub. Nobody calls them 419 anymore because they use music to rechange their story. Let me tell you, as hard as the economy is today, if the president or the government release money for the creative arts to support them, the movies and everything, when people are happy, when songs are jamming, movies are going on, you don't feel the pressure.
But we've had evidence that we can actually do these things. Because off air, we were speaking about the fact that you've had very successful events with big brands. Again, we've seen people like Black Sherif with even everything he's been
through.
The
reason I'm saying that his court
he
issues.
He performed in Nigeria not too long ago. It was crazy.
Yes, his court issues and things. People are saying that, you can't infringe on his human rights. Some of the money made his human rights what the human rights is today. Sometimes when we are talking, we should also feel for the investor. As you're doing this, today there are 4 or 5 artists who an investor was ready to release.
Yeah.
But then who go like, I
mean, investors and artists, please, let's come together, man. Adam, what do you want to say? I mean, pertaining to the stuff we've talked about, because we're able to connect, again, Richie's statements to investing to now people like Black Sherif, on Apple's cover, Rick Ross shouting these artists out. What do you have to say?
What is happening tells a story that there is a certain bright future for our industry. And like Ghanaian industry has always been a pace setter. If you look at how, the hip life movements really changed the story of Africa youth getting into music. Hip life was very big in Nigeria. Back then, it was the oldies who had that high life of a sort. But we were able to, inspire certain parts of our continent to also take up that youth movement. And we always have the men who can make things change. If you go to other, developed industries in the US, UK, Ghanaians or people of Ghanaian descent are playing huge roles, which tells about our talent and expertise. So it's all about a matter of time, and we need to work harder to, change the story for our music industry. There is hope. Investors should have confidence.
I like that. There's
the industry.
Hope.
Artists should have confidence.
Coca, there's hope, right?
And all stakeholders.
If you reduce our foolishness, there's more.
Should have confidence.
Is that how you're going to end today's episode?
If you mess up, then you release a song who had never fucked up. You have to deal with the issue because it will come back to
it seems they are dealing with the issues. I saw a video where the legal team of Black Sherif
and I'm saying the lawyer, in a meeting where as a creative people we are not speaking the truth. When that lawyer he contracted to do that letter.
But that letter, we just saw the letter online. Have you been able to verify its authenticity?
I'm coming over. So
anybody
law firm can just sit down.
And do you know the law firm? It can
I know the law firm. The law firm exists. That's what I'm saying. That
legitimacy to it.
If a law firm can just sit down for somebody to design their letterhead, then I'm one on me.
No, it can even be a fake law firm and a letterhead.
So the building they are in is also fake.
But Coca, the guy needs defense, right? Black.
I'm saying that when you enter into a contract and you want to walk away, it's 2 ways. You settle on mutual consent, but you can't just come and say I am going.
Oh no! If you read the letter well, the letter was saying pursuant to a meeting held between the 2 parties. So it seems there was a meeting before the letter.
Yes, but the meeting was supposed to come and address issues.
Else.
But then the issues, then you go and you think you.
But anyways,
that is why logic you say you should tell us that
I'm sure
we think we are wise because we are speaking plenty English.
Oh man, I have to end this now. I'm sure this came in because Black Chief is the hottest thing right now. We want to see him do
Listen,
well. And it's something
we've
we can
gone
learn
through
from.
a lot of mess.
You know, it's something we can learn
An investor has come. We are happy that the era of new investors are coming again. Then you pull this prank.
It wasn't a prank. It wasn't a prank, Coca. But we'll talk about this another day. We'll talk about this another day because we want to see him do
very
well.
shortly.
And he is doing very well, right?
As for his craft, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
But it's the foolishness.
Hey.
Coca, we can't do this. Guys, we have to sign now. Have a very wonderful day. We're going to be here tomorrow, same time from 3 to 4 p.m. Salute.
Shut up and bend over, and let your backer do the talking over. So back up, back up.
You guys are doing beyond what a regular would do, and I'm attracted more to that. I like people who want to do something different, you know, not the usual TV.
What's up, guys? Your boy Kiddy, aka the Golden Boy, aka Sugar Daddy. Catch me on MX24.
It is fun, it is fearless, it is factual.
Need the best of in-depth analysis, top personality interviews, trending and breaking news all come your way. I'll be serving you with football conversation, life-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations, all on Off the Cuff. Join me, Derek Aim, this and every Monday to Friday between 4 and 5 p.m. only on MX24 TV.